Hello, fellow Rebel Capitalists. Hope you're well. So, we just got done with that last story, and Josh told me, hey, all of my friends, and Josh is like 19, 20 years old. So, his friends really have their finger on the pulse of kind of all the hot tips and the rumors on social media. And he said, did you hear that Elon Musk is thinking about buying Twitter? And I said, come on, no. And he pointed me to some news stories that are starting to break this rumor that Elon Musk may buy Twitter, or they're saying he may start kind of a competitor. But the most of what I've been hearing is that he is thinking about actually buying Twitter himself. And I know he is someone that in the past said that he is a free speech absolutist. And they were talking to him about Starlink with Russia as an example. And he said, no, he's not going to block anything. If it's fake news, if it's propaganda, he says he doesn't care. He's absolutely, kind of a diehard free speech advocate, as am I. So that's really interesting to think maybe if he does buy Twitter. So what are these articles saying? Why are they insinuating that he may be thinking about pulling the trigger? Let's go into this story from, I believe it's the Post Millennial, PM. Oh, sorry, guys. I really like these people, too. I see them on Tim Pool all the time. So, yeah, I'm almost positive it's the Post Millennial. So, speculation grows that Elon Musk will start a Twitter alternative. But from what I've been hearing and what Josh's friends are telling him is he's actually thinking about buying Twitter. So this was asked after Elon Musk stated that Twitter's algorithm should be open source, to which Jack Dorsey, former CEO and the guy who started Twitter, replied that the choice of which algorithm to use should be the choice for the users. So here's where it really gets interesting. This is a tweet that he sent out today that says free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? Yes or no? And then he followed this up by saying the consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. And you've seen Musk do this before. If you're not following what he's done in the past, I think he did some sort of Twitter poll asking if he should sell all of these shares and take a tax hit and then just go ahead and pay the taxes. And I guess they said he should. So he went ahead and sold all these shares and paid like 10 or $12 billion in tax. Now, he may have been planning on doing that all along. Who knows? One thing is for sure, Elon Musk is a master marketer. That you can say whatever you want to about him. And there's a lot of areas to criticize him, that's for sure. But he is a master marketer, as is Trump. I think he and Trump are, but I would say Elon Musk is even better. But this is kind of why there are all these rumors flying around the internet. So this was after Musk, so he sent out that Twitter poll after he stated that the algorithm should be open source. And in a response to Musk's ask, Twitter users piled into the comments to suggest that Musk, a known and inventive entrepreneur, should launch a platform to rival Twitter. Now, there's a lot of these platforms popping up. I mean, you've got Getter, you've got, what's the other one? Telegram is more WhatsApp. But it seems that you've got a lot of these alternatives. It's really all about the network effect that's involved. And I mean, if anyone could pull it off, I guess it would be Musk. But that's why I think a lot of people are saying maybe he'll try to buy it. But, that would be tough because they're publicly traded now that I think about it. But let's go over kind of, if this is even, oh, here we go. So this person says, are you buying Twitter? The consequences of this poll will be important. Yeah, so I don't know if he could buy it just because it's a publicly traded company. I mean, how would you take them private? Well, I guess it's possible. But let's look at the cash on Tesla's balance sheet. I went over here to macro trends, and I tried to pull up a few sources, but it looks like they've got about maybe 18 or so billion of cash. Now, they've got a lot more stock, and as the price of their stock goes up, I know it's taken a hit recently, but I think it's kind of rebounded. They could use their shares. They could issue debt to buy Twitter. I mean, what's the valuation of Twitter? We go over to this other page, just do a quick Google search, about 13 billion. This is as of February, looks like 2022. So, how hard would it be for Musk to come up with the 13 billion? Not hard at all. It would be very, very easy. So, but then, does he take them private, or does he start a competitor? Does he buy a competitor? Who knows? But if we are to take Musk at his word that this Twitter poll is extremely consequential, which maybe we should, because his past Twitter polls have resulted in an action he has taken. So if we're to assume this is correct, maybe we should also consider the probabilities of him getting involved with social media. And then, of course, the next question becomes, what does that do for free speech? I think it would help free speech. I don't see the downside. Maybe there's a downside for Tesla and shareholders and whatnot. But as far as society, American culture, the mainstream media, I don't think there's a downside to Musk buying Twitter, starting a Twitter competitor. I mean, I think the more competitors we have, it's just free market capitalism, the better all the products are going to be, and then let the market decide which platform they want to use. So, fascinating story. I don't have too many other details, but I wanted to bring that to your attention. So going into the weekend here, maybe we'll hear more about it. I think that could be a social media and free speech game changer if this actually comes to fruition, or if really Musk gets involved with the social media game. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a great weekend. And as always, make sure that you're standing up for freedom, liberty, free market capitalism. We'll see you in the next video.